Staying connected and embracing the digital future of education. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be going through today in this module, including a breakdown of our context that identifies the key issues, a gap analysis, as well as our concluded proposal, and an introduction to our staff social media platform with a follow-up explanation as to why. For the purposes of this presentation, we'll be using a PBL lens, and we're looking at a scenario here with Mary as our individual who represents many of the educators who work here struggling as the world shifts in the direction of relying much more heavily on tech for success. Traditionally, our teaching approaches have happened strictly face-to-face and take place in physical classrooms. However, there is a growing demand to begin including online options at Lincoln Language Academy in order to reach more customers by utilizing both synchronous and asynchronous learning. Mary is open to this idea, but she isn't very confident in using a wide range of tech. She acknowledges that many of the current educators will feel the same. We recognize the need for newer educators to introduce their knowledge of tech skills. Two current teachers have shown high proficiency in their tech background and display ease using Zoom and designing MOOCs, for example. They are enthusiastic about online learning and hope to provide some solutions to our problem regarding the demand to shift online and hesitation even from open-minded educators, due to their lack of comfortability with new tech. This, combined with the older generation teachers who are continuing to use traditional methods for teaching, are not open to the shift in tech, and this is a disadvantage to the students at LLA. This is a gap in which we need to strive to fill. Here's an in-depth look at our gap analysis. The current state is that our traditional learning methods are doing what they've always done, and they're doing that well, but there is potential for even greater learning to happen. Denying the shift to online learning will leave not only our institution, but also our students at a disadvantage. There's a significant learning curve to get through before we can see increased success in both our educators and learners. Our goal is to increase educators' level of skill with tech-based programs, embracing both synchronous and asynchronous courses into the standard curriculum offered at LLA. When students are given autonomy in their own learning, it enhances their metacognition. So how do we respectfully include educators and reputable philosophies of teaching that have proved to be efficient in the past while embracing the shift in education that is technology-based? Additionally, how do we ensure there isn't a lack of authenticity in online learning, especially because of our curriculum being language-based? For example, ESL is an accessibility concern. We want to ensure that our online program choices are of the same quality that we strive to meet in our face-to-face learning. In what ways will costs be delegated to accommodate tech purchases we need to make? And what could be considered our most important concern is what methods will we use to create a more inclusive workspace to bridge the gap between our different generations of educators. Here's an overview of some of the considerations that we took into account while creating the gap analysis and the solution for some of these problems. First of all, time. Educators may have to put in some time at first to learn new skills and adjust to these new models of teaching. Having an understanding of new programs is essential in being able to help students use them with ease. In the long term, these digital advancements will end up saving both our teachers and students time. Financial concerns are usually what comes to mind when we think about tech upgrades, and it can be a costly investment up front, but we will save money in textbooks and teaching hours due to asynchronous aspects, which allow for more flexibility, not to mention physical cleaning and electric costs that are eliminated for fully online courses. In terms of labor, new opportunities are opening up for the younger generation of recent graduates who have a wide range of information to share with us. Labor can be divided between these individuals and those who currently hold teaching positions to more evenly distribute their differing aspects of knowledge. Here's our proposal. We're going to start interacting using Slack. This is a forum that we can connect our educators and encourage open communication about new programs to help explain user issues and suggest ways to improve skills while boosting confidence. This would be the main forum educators can use on a daily basis to stay in touch with one another. Since this will be something new for a lot of our educators to get adjusted to, we will hold an in-person meeting that'll be a tutorial for getting to know the interworkings of Slack and encourage our educators to mingle. This should start to break down preconceived notions of not belonging in this space and open educators up to feel more comfortable in a digital environment. Here's a glance at what the Slack interface looks like. As you can see, there's different channels that are organized using hashtags to group together topics of discussion. Although we would have a core team working on facilitating these discussions, at any point anyone can jump in and add some tips to enhance your skill set in different programs like Zoom or Adobe. And as you can see here, it even has a feature where you can direct message other coworkers if you feel like having a one-on-one conversation. You'll notice that I've mentioned in this mock conversation something about a meeting on Friday night. I thought because this is a new learning curve for a lot of our teachers, they might not feel comfortable only relying on this in order to learn new programs. By facilitating an in-person version of these tutorials, it'll allow them to bridge both their familiar area of expertise and the new one. Lastly, a great feature about getting our educators to engage using Slack is it's going to be one of the primary things that we use to engage with our students when we introduce online courses. This allows them to gain some background familiarity before engaging their students in it as well. To conclude, let's look at some of the research that backs up these proposals. First of all, by utilizing our younger staff or hiring new educators, they can help familiarize current teachers with new models of learning and technological skills. Additionally, recent graduates will be able to better connect to our younger students, which will appeal to online learners and cyber safety concerns. Consideration was made in the selection of using Slack opposed to Facebook or LinkedIn, as some educators may already have an online identity and we don't want to infringe on privacy, a common concern of mixing personal social media and keeping things professional. Slack is a forum most will be unfamiliar with, so it'll be a learning curve for all, and has limited features to only be used for the intended purpose of learning new skills. According to Digital Trends staff in 2016, individuals exist on a variety of online platforms, and companies are urged to jump on this trend. Lincoln Language Academy needs to create a more digital presence in order to maintain our reach to customers and refrain from being left behind in a technological world. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope that these ideas are feasible for your context problem provided, and here's a look at the references that I use to support the ideas suggested.